It's the start of a brand new month, which means it is time to jump on into the craft room and let's take a look at what's been passing my craft table in July. I started off with my Quiltmas quilt where I wanted a pieced backing, and so I've revisited those piecings, and you can see here I am chain stitching. I'm using a leader piece, which is just a scrap of fabric to start sewing to stop any little catching on the corners so that I can run through nicely with the chain piecing. I've cut 2.5-inch squares of all my scraps, and they'll make a cross on the back of the quilt, hopefully make it reversible. Well, I hope it works out. I also spent some time making lemingtons for our scout group for a fundraiser, and then prepping for our big trip. Here I am making a cutlery case, so just to keep all our cutlery together inside our picnic set. I also, of course, couldn't go away without a brand new travel mug. I used some black shimmer vinyl and my Cricut to make a label for a travel mug I just picked up at Supercheap. So the idea was so we could make coffee in our motels of a morning before we headed out, and I wasn't constantly buying coffee. It was an absolute nightmare to weed. It was driving me crazy. You can see here I'm fiddling with it constantly, but it turned out so super cute. So I just had a cream colored mug and used the black glitter. It's one of my favorite vinyls, and it's a bit of a running joke. Do I look like a GPS? I am a terrible navigator, and so I thought this would be fun to point at my husband every time I used left instead of right and sent us off in the wrong direction. Just a little bit of an inside joke makes the trip a little bit more fun. I did only miss one turn in my defense, and I'm going to blame the caravan that was parked in front of the sign. It was a little bit fiddly, so you can see here I'm struggling to get that O in place. So it was just, I think part of it because it was so fine, and I'm pretty sure I need a new blade. But I'm very slack at changing my blades until they're absolutely desperate. And then my final project was to add some Velcro to this cute little tote. It's one that I made a while back for my Cricut email series. I'll drop a link in the comments, and this is just to keep everything sealed up and all contain just a basic spotlight tote, and just added Velcro to both sides. And then we're on the road. My travel vlog is available on my channel where you can see our full 2 weeks and everything I got up to. My main project that I've worked on while we were on our road trip are these socks that you can see me finishing the toe of, and I've also got full details of that all up on my blog if you want to know more. My crochet blanket came to a standstill when I realized I miscalculated my last yarn order, so here I am trying to find it, and I didn't have it, resorting it. As you can see, I kind of put all my whites across the front, so when my basket is tucked under my desk, it looks all neat and tidy, and the rest is a mess. But I did manage a little bit of crochet. My blanket's coming along nicely. I'm currently in part 5 of 8. But yeah, I've had to put it down for a standstill until I can get another lot of yarn ordered and sent over from the UK. So hopefully next week that will be here. My big project this month was my spinning. I've had such a wonderful time playing with my spinning wheel again. I dyed the fibre myself, and here I am actually plying it, so the yarn is just about ready to use, which I am super excited to dive into. Needed a new project with my crochet on pause, and so I decided I wanted to start a sock snake. So I pulled out all my scrap sock weight yarn, and here I am just playing around with colours to try and work out what I liked best. I had reading at hockey, it was raining and so cold. I finally bit the bullet and got back into this cross stitch. The black fabric is so stressful to stitch on, and so it's going along slowly, but I am making progress, which is nice. And of course, my card project, there's a full flick through available on my channel. I'll link that as well. And so I was just playing catch up. I'm almost caught up with July, and then I need to play catch up for the first week of August as well. But I am still loving this project and the record keeping it offers. And of course, once I had my yarn chosen, I then went through and rewound it, and so that it was split into equal balls so that I could do 2 ends of the snake. And that was July. Thanks for watching.